Police are searching for multiple suspects after 16 speed cameras were damaged in the city overnight, but that's a shot of TIFF. So we're going to have all of the TIFF updates coming up. We are live outside the TIFF Light Box, where Amanda Seyfried is set to walk the red carpet for the premiere of The Testament of Anne Lee.
Yeah, we got speed cameras and we got our own cameras on the red carpet again. We're also live outside Roy Thomson Hall, where fans are waiting for Jodie Foster, who's speaking to us right now for the premiere of Private Life. We'll go there in moments.
And the Blue Jays are getting ready to open a series at home with the Astros tonight as they sit just 2 games ahead of the Yankees atop the American AL East.
And this is Live at 5. Good evening, I'm Phil Perkins.
And I'm Arda Zakarian. Welcome to Live at 5. The latest red carpet at Roy Thomson Hall is underway. Let's head there now. It's for a French film starring Jodie Foster, and we have CP24's Ji-Yeon Lee, who is talking to her right now.
Hi there. Hi, guys. So we just wrapped up our conversation with Jodie, and she just joined us on CP24. Now she's going to do this interview in French. What's really cool about this is, although Jodie knows how to speak a little bit of French, for this film, A Private Life, it's her first time taking on a lead role where the whole entire time is done in French. What a huge accomplishment. I did ask her, what made you want to take on the challenge? And she's always been drawn to projects where she is being challenged. And when you have a massive career like she has, she is a 2-time Oscar winner, why not take on something so brand new as do a role with a foreign language? And she, although she does speak French in other parts, never a full movie. And she was waiting for the right project. And for her, this was it. We had to cut our interview short because they wanted to make sure that they get down through the press line. But it was nice to speak with her, as well as the director here, Rebecca Zlowski, right there. Let me get out of the way so you can see Rebecca Zlotowski. She is the director of this film. It's a really cool film because basically the premise of this is Jodie Foster plays a character by the name of Dr. Lillian Steiner. She's an American psychoanalyst in Paris whose patient dies under mysterious circumstances. So that death sets off a chain of various events and circumstances and puts Jodie Foster's character through a lot. So it doesn't get any bigger than this. Jodie Foster did win the TIFF Tribute Award on Sunday. It was the Groundbreaker Award. And when I asked her, when you reflect back on that, you were breaking ground all along. She said it felt more like climbing than breaking ground because, it can be a tough haul trying to make your way through Hollywood. But obviously, winning 2 Oscars, she has done that successfully. So here you go, the Canadian premiere of A Private Life right here at Roy Thomson Hall. The screening for this gets underway at 5:30. Sorry, we're just doing a dance here with my cameraman Tristan and myself. But honestly, what a treat it is to have Jodie back here in the city. Last time she came to TIFF was back in 2023, so it's nice to have her back again. I'll send it back to you.
All right, G, and Tristan, his massive shoulders. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. I can barely do an interview in English, so shout out to her doing a whole movie in French. Shout out to her. We'll go back to the red carpet, no doubt. In the meantime, an investigation is underway after what appears to be a coordinated vandalism campaign targeting the city's speed cameras. 16
of them were cut down or damaged overnight in areas all across the city. It comes just days after a speed camera on Parkside Drive was chopped down for the 7th time in less than a year. A frustrated Mayor Olivia Chow addressed the situation at City Hall this afternoon.
Cutting down speed camera is not a joke. In fact, it is violating the Criminal Code 430. It's mischief over $5,000. It can maximum fine is 10 years in jail, maximum. So it's not a joke, it's a criminal offense.
Well, a different tone earlier today, Premier Ford said that he wants all the speed cameras in Toronto taken down.
They should take out those cameras, all of them. If you want to slow down traffic at school, you put the big, huge signs, big flashing lights, crossing area, people will slow down. This is nothing but a tax grab. I've driven by speed traps aren't even close to school areas. It's nothing but a tax grab. So, you know something? Hopefully the cities will get rid of them, like Mayor Del Duca did in Vaughan, or I'm going to help them get rid of them very shortly.
And Toronto police provided an update on their investigation into the speed camera vandalism this afternoon.
Yeah, let's go live now. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan outside police headquarters now. Steve.
Yeah, Phil and Ardo, we actually moved. We're back on Lakeshore near Woodbine, where one of the 16 cameras was damaged overnight. So when we were at police headquarters earlier on, we did hear from Toronto Police, and they are now putting together a coordinated effort amongst the divisions throughout the city because these speed cameras were taken down at different areas around the city. So this will now be an investigation into 16 different mischiefs, 17 actually, if we include Parkside. So Albert's showing you right now what's left of one of the radar devices that was cut down overnight. We heard from Councillor Brad Bradford. This is his ward, of course. He was very frustrated this morning when we spoke with him. It's his view that these cameras clearly aren't working. And he says that because the city has taken in $10 million more in revenue than they did last year with regards to speed cameras. So he wants to know, where is this money going? Many reporters asked him today if he knew where the money was going, and he didn't. So that is something he is going to try to find answers to as he gets back to City Hall. So with regards to the police, they are doing this coordinated investigation. All of the divisions will be involved as they try to identify the people that were responsible for destroying these 16 cameras within the last 24 hours, 17 if you include Parkside, which was damaged within the last 48 hours. Here is more from the Toronto Police and from a Safe Streets advocate who stopped by here earlier on today to provide her comments. Let's listen to both.
I must tell you right now, we've taken this very seriously. And we are actively investigating because this is a serious criminal offense, mischief over. And those who are responsible for this will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
These cameras are deployed where they're deployed for a reason. These cameras save lives. People have died where these cameras have been put up, and the people who are cutting these down are risking other people's lives. They're ready and apparently very happy to cause another family to be devastated, to have to plan a funeral, to live in a lifelong nightmare of anguish and grief because their loved one died being hit by a speeding driver instead of just leaving these alone. That blood will never wash off of their hands if that happens at these sites.
One on Lakeshore is gone.
Now, we're showing you images of what is believed to be the suspects police believe are responsible for the damage to the Parkside cameras. Now, as in that last clip, these cameras are strategically placed in areas where there are high speeders. The driver does not receive any punishment for speeding. It's the registered owner that receives the set fine in the mail. And this is why many say that this is nothing more than a tax grab that many, including Councillor Brad Bradford, has said is not working. So this is still open for debate. But again, you'll hear from the Premier, who has said earlier on that he is going to make sure that these cameras are taken down if the city doesn't do it on their own. Back to you guys.
Steve, thank you so much for this. Appreciate it. Let's check on the commute now with CP24's traffic specialist, Heather Seaman.
Well, it's a busy drive on all the major routes. We have a couple problems. Let's go straight to the cameras. We're dealing with a crash here. It's on the westbound 401 Express at Allen Road. It's blocking 3 left lanes. Emergency crews on scene. We're seeing quite the backup. Expect delays from Leslie to pass the problem. So again, that's the westbound 401 Express at Allen Road. An earlier crash on the 401 at Kennedy. That is cleared. It was the westbound 401 Express, so traffic is moving well there. Southbound 404 DVP, that is still jammed from about Finch to south of the 401. Northbound Don Valley Parkway, again, we're dealing with heavy volume from north of Danforth to north of Lawrence. And the westbound Gardner, that is still jammed from about Yonge Street to west of Bathurst. In town, not aware of any serious crashes. That's it for traffic. Back to you.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. Well, a 14-year-old boy has been arrested on attempted murder and gun charges in a double shooting in Scarborough.
Yes, this happened on August the 31st on Tansley Avenue near Danforth and Eglinton. Two men who were shot were taken to hospital with serious injuries, but they survived. The boy is facing 11 charges, including 2 counts each of attempted murder and failing to comply with a release order.
Down at QEW, Hamilton police have made a 3rd arrest in a shooting that took the life of a Mohawk College student earlier this year.
Harsimraj Randawa was shot and killed on April the 17th while standing near a bus stop on Upper James Street and South Bend Road. Investigators say 29-year-old Jaden Jones was taken into custody in Toronto yesterday and faces several charges, including first-degree murder. A 32-year-old and a 26-year-old were also arrested last month. Anyone with information about the 8 cases asked to call police or Crime Stoppers.
It's 5:10, 21 degrees. Watching Live at 5 coming up. We'll head back to TIFF next for the premiere of The Testament of Anne Lee, starring Amanda Seyfried. Welcome back. Back to TIFF. Amanda Seyfried is at the TIFF Lightbox for her new film, The Testament of Anne Lee.
CP24's Beatrice Baseman joins us live from the red carpet with more on this. Beatrice.
Arda, Phil, we're showing you live pictures right now from the red carpet here in the TIFF Bell Lightbox. This is the premiere of The Testament of Anne Lee. You're right, it stars Amanda Seyfried. She's here along with her co-star, Lewis Pullman. Amanda, of course, plays the main character in this film, Anne Lee. Lewis Pullman plays her brother, William, in the movie. And on the right, Mona Fastfold, who's the director of this film. Interestingly enough, and our viewers might be wondering, why haven't we been showing you a trailer of this film, The Testament of Anne Lee, all day long, leading up to this film? Because that's what we typically do. Well, guess what? There is no trailer. And I spoke to director Mona Fastfold asking her why. She said there literally was no time. She finished the film, was doing the most intense sound mixing of her career, she told me, put down the pencils, and then the premiere in Venice at the very start of this month, back on September 1st. And now here we are at TIFF. The film got a spectacularly warm reception in Venice. Amanda Seyfried got a massive, massive standing ovation when the film premiered there. And she talked about the reception and what that's been like for her, kind of accepting the flowers and accepting the praise that she's getting for this film, and what it's been like to be a part of this, again, led by director Mona Fastfold, who we're showing you right now, who essentially told me she was almost embodying Anne Lee a little bit. By the way, if our viewers aren't familiar, Anne Lee is actually a real historical figure. She was a religious figure in pre-revolutionary America. She led this controversial Christian sect called the Shakers, and Amanda Seyfried plays Anne Lee. And so I asked her how she channeled that just a little bit right amount of madness to play this character. And here's what she said.
I don't know how I channeled it. It was really about there's just a lot of similarities and a lot of connection. That's what you do as an actor. You just try to connect as much as you can to the character that you're playing, even if the character lived 300 years ago. It's important to realize that we're all humans at the end of the day. And I was connecting to how she was able to move people, create a movement with kindness and lead without fear.
There is musicality in this film. There's singing, there's choreography and dance. And so I spoke to Lewis Pullman about that. How are your dance moves? How do you follow choreography? And he said his mom is actually a modern dancer. And so he was able to sit down with his mom, and what a special experience that was to collaborate together and work together to figure out some of those dance moves. He said, I thought I was ahead of the arc when I finally joined the cast, I believe he said in Budapest, and then he quickly realized that Amanda and other cast members were also well apprised of the choreography moves. But still, he had a wonderful experience in bonding with his mom and including her on this journey in making this film. So it debuted, as I mentioned, in Venice, and now it's here at TIFF, premiering just within the next few minutes here, really, at the TIFF Bell Lightbox. Several more screenings have already been added than was originally anticipated. That's the kind of reception this film is getting so far. And lots of acclaim and flowers for Amanda Seyfried, for Mona Fastfold, for Lewis Pullman in this movie, as we show you live pictures from the TIFF Bell Lightbox. Back to you guys. All
right, yes, someone definitely hurting their shoulders getting the camera up there to get all the shots. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
It's now 5:16 and 21 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Coming up, Canada condemns Israel's strike on Qatar's capital. The latest developments in the war in the Middle East.
Welcome back. Israel has further widened its campaign against Hamas, striking the group's political leadership in Qatar.
Yeah, the attack happened as top Hamas figures gathered to consider a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. Hamas says its top leaders survived the strike, but the 5 lower-level members were killed, including the son of the Hamas leader for Gaza. The attack has angered Qatar, which hosts thousands of American troops. The Gulf nation has also served as a key mediator between Israel and Hamas this entire time. The U.S. says Israel alerted it before the strike.
President Trump immediately directed Special Envoy Witkoff to inform the Qataris of the impending attack, which he did. The president views Qatar as a strong ally and friend of the United States and feels very badly about the location of this attack.
Prime Minister Mark Carney has condemned Israel's strike in Qatar, calling it, quote, an intolerable expansion of violence and an affront to Qatar's sovereignty. A statement from Carney goes on to say, regardless of their objectives, such attacks pose a grave risk of escalating conflict throughout the region and directly imperil efforts to advance peace and security, secure the release of all hostages, and achieve a lasting ceasefire. Efforts which Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani plays a highly constructive role.
CTV's military analyst David Fraser, a retired Major General, talked to us live about Israel's latest move.
Israel just seems to be going wherever they want to go after, people that they classify as enemies. Doha has also been a scene of where most of the negotiations happen, and that's where all the parties reside. So, I mean, this really is a political escalation as an infringement on the Doha, their own sovereignty. So, again, Israel is playing by a different set of rules.
And the Israeli military is telling residents to evacuate Gaza City ahead of an expanded military operation. Israeli officials say 30 high-rise buildings in Gaza were demolished overnight. They say the buildings were being used as military infrastructure by Hamas. Gaza health officials say 65 people have been killed by airstrikes in the last 24 hours.
The military dropped leaflets across the city warning that troops will operate in the area with great force. Some people have decided to stay put, saying there's nowhere else safe to go, while others are heading south. It was the first warning for a full evacuation of the city in the current round of fighting.
And former Canadian ambassador to Israel, John Allen, says evacuating Gaza City will make the humanitarian crisis in the territory even worse.
It's going to be extremely difficult. We know that there is a humanitarian crisis already, and to try and deal with an influx of 1 million more people, to accommodate them in tents, to feed them with what we know is an improper, inappropriate, and inefficient humanitarian system in place right now. It's all going to be extremely difficult.
There are an estimated 1 million Palestinians in the area, North Gaza, around Gaza City. Hundreds of thousands of people remain struggling under conditions of famine.
It's 5:22. Feels like 22 outside. You're watching Live at 5.
The Blue Jays will begin a series at home with the Astros tonight as they try and hold on to the top spot in the American AL East. That's coming up. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Go to the Rogers Center. The Blue Jays opening up a series against the Houston Astros tonight. They sit just 2 games ahead of the Yankees atop the American League East.
Let's see if they can hold on to it. CP24's Melissa Duggan joins us live from outside Rogers Center with a preview. Melissa.
Hey, Arda. Hey, Phil. This is a crucial series that the Jays are kicking off tonight. The Jays, the head of the AL East, taking on the Houston Astros, the head of the AL West. And unfortunately, the Jays are going to be without one of their most important players. We're talking about this guy up here, Bo Bichette, number 11 shortstop. He is now on the 10-day IL. You might remember over the weekend, he was injured. He came crashing into home plate, colliding with the catcher, hobbling off the field. After that, he missed the next game, had some x-rays done. Those came back negative, but he was injured. We're now learning that he has got a left knee strain, so he is going to be out today. We do know that Joey Loperfido has been called in, could be active in tonight's game, but this is a really important one. Right now, the Jays just 2 games ahead of the Yankees in the AL East. Their lead over the team shrunk after the last series the Jays wrapped up just recently this week in New York when the Yankees took 2 out of those 3 games. The Jays really need to get all the wins they could get over this next stretch. And as we head through September, it is not going to be easy. We've got some formidable competition. We're thinking about the Royals. We're thinking about the Rays. We're thinking about the Red Sox. So we've got to get those wins wherever we can. How are fans feeling? They are confident. They are pumped. They are loving this Blue Jays buzz. Have a listen. How many games have you been to this season?
57.
Wow. So in watching these 57 games, what can you tell me about how the Blue Jays are doing this season?
That this is the most electric we've been since I can remember.
What do the Jays need to do to come out on top?
Pitch and hit. That's what the game comes down to. If you're not doing one, you're probably going to lose.
This is what we play for all season, right? To get to October, so baseball in October. So I'm very, very excited, and I'm excited that she's here with me.
I'm here to celebrate her. Yes, we're very excited.
Oh, that's great. By the way, that first girl that I spoke with there, Maya, she said, look out for me at today's game. I am the little hot dog, she tells me. So dressing up for the game, reminding me that, yeah, this is a loony hot dog night here tonight at Rogers Center. The Dome, it is open. On the mound for the Jays, Shane Bieber. First pitch, 7:07. Back to you guys.
All right. Cannot wait. They got to win. They need to win. Yankees need to lose. That needs to be accomplished, Melissa. Get it done. It's 5:27, 21 degrees. You're watching live at 5.
Mayor Olivia Chow says 17 speed cameras have been damaged or cut down in the city in the last few days. This comes as Premier Doug Ford says if municipalities don't get rid of them, he will.
Police searching for multiple suspects after 16 speed cameras. That's one of them. Damaged, cut down in some cases. Overnight. This comes as Premier Ford calling them a cash grab and say Toronto needs to get rid of them.
And it's day 6 of TIFF, and Amanda Seyfried just walked the red carpet for the premiere of The Testament of Anne Lee.
Different kind of drama here. The Blue Jays at home taking on the Houston Astros. They have a 2-game lead over the Yankees for the top spot in the AL East. They're going to try to lengthen that.
This is Live at 5. Hello, I'm Arda Zakarian.
And I'm Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. Our top story investigation underway after what appears to be a coordinated vandalism campaign targeting speed cameras.
16 of them were cut down or damaged overnight in areas all across the city. It comes just days after a speed camera on Parkside Drive was chopped down for the 7th time in less than a year. A frustrated Mayor Olivia Chow addressed the situation at City Hall this afternoon.
17 cameras in the last 2 or 3 days. That's not a joking matter. And if one of those cameras are missing and people are speeding and someone get hit, by gosh, okay, then that person is responsible because the camera is down. Because we do know when we set up the cameras, where are they set up? They're setting up in community and school zones. Kids are going back to school this week. For heaven's sake, stop tampering with public safety device, which is what this speed camera is about.
Well, earlier today, Premier Doug Ford said that he wants all the speed cameras in Toronto taken down.
I have an idea. Why don't we put a police officer with a radar gun there every once in a while? So it'll be a radar drop and people will slow down. But to put this photo radar and some people driving through a neighborhood and they're 5-10 kilometers over, they're getting nailed. It's not fair. So I'm dead against this photo radar that they have.
And Toronto police provided an update on their investigation into the speed camera vandalism this afternoon.
Yeah, let's go live to CP24 crime analyst Steve Ryan. He is by one of the chopped down speed cameras. Steve.
Yeah, Phil, we heard from Toronto Police this afternoon that they have now got an active investigation on the way, trying to determine who was responsible for destroying 16 speed cameras overnight throughout the city. When you include Parkside, which was damaged again just a couple of days ago, that's 17 speed cameras in total. So these cameras are placed in strategic positions around the city that have been identified as hotspots for speeders. The idea is that these cameras will act as a deterrent and really have people slow down as they go through these known areas. But on the flip side of that, there are those who feel, as the Premier stated in his remarks that we just played a few minutes ago, that this is nothing more than a cash grab. And people say that because the driver is not the one that is punished for this offense. What happens is the registered owner receives a set fine in the mail, and the fine is either paid or disputed in court. Now, we did speak with Brad Bradford, Councillor Brad Bradford, earlier today, and he is of the opinion that these cameras aren't working. And he says that because this year alone, the city has brought in $10 million more in speed fines than they did last year. So he is calling on other solutions. He wants other solutions to deal with this problem as opposed to just putting up these speed cameras as a potential tax grab. Now, here's more from Toronto Police, who we heard from earlier at police headquarters. And here's more from Brad Bradford as well, who stopped by this location here at Lakeshore and Woodbine earlier today. Let's listen to both.
This is an ongoing investigation, and it's been ongoing for the last several months from the first occurrence occurred. So we're actively canvassing, speaking to residents. And again, I must say, we're appealing to the public. If anyone see any persons who appears to be suspicious around these cameras, please call police.
We said it's not about revenue, and yet the city is collecting more and more revenue year over year. We say that we're wanting to decrease speeding in the city of Toronto. The speeding numbers are going up. We see that with the revenue that is being collected.
So add more cameras.
Well, that is one option, but as we are adding cameras, they're ending up on the ground. And we're seeing this. Like, if you want to add cameras, maybe you need to encase them in concrete. Maybe you need to have some sort of fencing apparatus that's more difficult to prevent them from being cut down. But what we are doing right now is not working.
Now, police released suspect photos taken on Parkside, where that camera was damaged just a few days ago. And clearly, guys, this is a coordinated effort that was done with multiple people knocking down 16 cameras overnight. So this is now a criminal investigation with at least 16 mischief investigations. And who knows what else the police will uncover as they continue with this investigation. So let's send it back to the desk.
Yeah, quite the coordinated effort. Steve, thanks so much. All right, let's stay on the roads and check in on the rush hour with CP24 traffic specialist Heather Seaman.
Hi there. Well, it's a bit of a mess out there. We're seeing a lot of volume, some areas busier than others. Let's go straight to the cameras. This is one of the problem spots. We still have this ongoing collision, an earlier collision. Westbound 401 in the Express near Allen Road. It is still blocking the left lane and left shoulder. We're seeing delays from about Leslie until you get past the problem. And some earlier issues, westbound 401 through Kennedy, no issues here. Southbound 404 DVP, that is jamming up the volume from Steeles to south of the 401. Northbound Don Valley Parkway, that is jamming up from Dundas to north of Lawrence. At last check, Victoria Park is a much better north-south alternate here at situation at Steeles. And the northbound DVP I mentioned as well. Let's jump to the Gardner. This is jamming up from Jarvis to west of Bathurst. And on the eastbound Gardner, we're seeing a lot of volume from the 427 off and on to Dufferin. And again, near the Rogers Centre, keep in mind, as we've been mentioning, the Jays game is tonight at Rogers Centre. So a lot of motorists heading into the downtown core and not aware of any serious crashes in town. That's it. Back to you.
Thanks, Heather. It's now 5:36, 21 degrees. This is Live at 5.
And it's day 6 at TIFF, and Jodie Foster is in the city. We'll take you live to the red carpet at Roy Thomson Hall for the premiere of her film, Private Life.
Welcome back. It's day 6, and the latest red carpet at Roy Thomson Hall is underway for a French film starring Jodie Foster. For more on A Private Life, we are joined by CP24's Ji Lee. Ji, I know the stars walk the red carpet, but anything else happening right now?
Yeah, so the screening is taking place as we speak. This is the Canadian premiere of A Private Life right here at Roy Thomson Hall. And as you know, Jodie Foster just walked the red carpet. We spoke to her not too long ago, and it doesn't get any bigger than Jodie Foster. She is a two-time Oscar winner and has been so successful in the film industry, whether it's in front of the camera or behind. Now, in this film, A Private Life, she plays an American psychoanalyst who is living in Paris. And here's where the storyline gets really interesting. One of her patients dies under mysterious circumstances, and that sets off a whole chain of events. And what's interesting about this film is that although Jodie Foster knows how to speak French, this is her first time taking on a leading role where the entire movie she is doing it in French. We had a chance to speak to both Jodie and the director of the film. Here's what they had to say.
It was a hard challenge, but it was worth it. It was something I've been wanting to do for a long time. I'd made a few films in French, but I'd never had as much dialogue, never had to talk so much. So that was the challenge that drew me in. But then, of course, this is a magnificent character and so rich and different than anything I've done in a long time.
We knew that she would be fluent in French. So it's been like maybe 30 years that we've been knowing that she can do that. She had like small parts and sometimes like more consequent parts, but never like a first leading actress like entirely in French. And I was like, do we lack of imagination or whatever? And then, so it's been like a long time I've been wanting to work with her. And this part was specifically for her because it would be this shrink, this very bad therapist in the beginning, being like not understanding what the patient would say. And so the fact that she was like an American living in Paris, like expat in Paris for a long time, would be interesting for us, like even like narratively.
And Jodie Foster had said that she always wanted to do something in French, but she needed the right script. And this was it. So this is the Canadian premiere of A Private Life taking place right now. And what's really cool about Jodie Foster, she has been to Canada many times. She has filmed lots of shows, and she was talking about how she's gone to Montreal, Winnipeg, Toronto, BC. She just loves Canada and has spent so much time here. So it's so great to have her here in the city, and especially in the 50th anniversary of TIFF. So on Sunday, she was given the Groundbreaker Award at the TIFF Tribute Awards, rightfully so. So that's it for this carpet. Later on tonight, we're going to be back here again for the screening of oh my gosh. I just had my mind just went blank, but it is starring Lily James. I'm so
That's
swiped.
Okay. Swiped?
It is
Is it
starring
swiped?
Lily James. Swiped. Thank you.
It's a team effort.
You.
It's a team effort, G. Is it about digital dating? Like, what's it about?
Yes,
Oh,
it's
wow.
about Bumble.
Oh,
Yes.
never heard of it.
And
Yes.
yeah.
So Swiped. Thank you.
Is
We
it
are
like a
back here for
thriller?
Swiped with Lily James.
That's what it's
Yes.
all about. All right, merci beaucoup.
And Lily James plays Whitney Wolfe Hurd,
She
the
created
founder
Bumble?
of Bumble.
Oh.
Yes, the creator of Bumble.
Look at that. See, you're on the red carpet. You have to take
Yes.
Arda out of the red carpet. Can't take the red carpet out of Arda. That's what it's all about. All right, speaking of staying at TIFF, go to Lightbox now. Amanda Seyfried, our whole newsroom had to learn how to say her name properly, premiering The Testament of Anne Lee. CP24's Beatrice Weisman at the red carpet, speaking with everybody. B.
Yeah, there was no swiping back when Anne Lee was around, Phil and Arda. I mean, this is a character. It's a real character, historical figure who was the head of a controversial Christian sect called the Shakers back in the 1700s, so in the 18th century. This is a musical film that involves, of course, singing, some choreography, some dancing. Amanda Seyfried, no stranger to that. You might have seen her in a movie called Mamma Mia several years ago. She was just lovely today, taking her time on the red carpet, talking to all of us, members of the media who are here, very eager to hear from her. You know that she's no stranger to Toronto either. The movie Mean Girls, filmed here in the city and across the province. But this is a film that's getting a really, really warm reception. It debuted earlier this month at the Venice Film Festival, and it just got such a warm reception that here at TIFF, it's so widely popular that several screenings have also been added to the original schedule as well. The film, of course, stars Amanda Seyfried, Louis Pullman plays her brother, and director Mona Fastvold said she cast Seyfried due to her power. She's a strong woman. She's a strong mother. Her character in this film has 4 children who all die in infancy or early childhood. And so she said Amanda Seyfried really channeled her little bit of madness to play this character. And so here's some reaction from the cast. You'll hear from Amanda Seyfried, the director Mona Fastvold, and you'll hear from Louis Pullman, too, who's making his debut here at TIFF.
This is not a movie that anyone's ever seen. This is not a thing. This is not something that fits into a genre. It's hard to describe. It's hard to give context to unless you're given space to give context to it. It's a very specific perspective on a very specific person. So it's just at this, like, it was hard to make because people didn't understand it, and it's just and you see it, and it's an amazing experience, but you might not understand it in the way that like some other people do, or like, you know, it's art. It's radical.
This is a very difficult movie to make. It's a really difficult movie to shoot, and it was difficult to finance, but still I just felt this strong urge to tell this story. When I discovered the story of Ann Lee, I thought, wow, why has no one told this story before? This woman is about to be erased from history, and I think if not the first, she's one of the very first American feminists.
I love Toronto so much. It's my first TIFF experience. I've been to Toronto before, but I played a show here with my band, and I was here for like 2 days. So now I'm getting a little more of a taste of it, and everyone is so welcoming.
I think it's fair to say Louis Pullman likes the taste of Toronto. Interestingly enough, and I thought this was so sweet as well, I asked him if he was a good dancer, if he took well to choreography, and he said that his mom was actually a modern dancer, and he, you know, took some of the footage, some of the, I guess, the asks of him to his mom to kind of work through some of the kinks when it comes to that choreography. He said he'd been wanting to collaborate with his mother for quite some time, and this was his opportunity on just this spectacular film. And by the way, after its debut at the Venice Film Festival, Amanda Seyfried got about a 10-minute standing ovation. So that's the kind of reception that the Testament of Ann Lee is getting abroad. It's on right now here at the TIFF Bell Lightbox. I bet it's going to get a pretty good reception here as well, guys.
All right, Beatrice Vaisman at the red carpet. Thanks so much. Appreciate that. It's 5:46, 21 degrees. Watching live at 5.
The Barrie mayor has declared a state of emergency. Alex Nuttall joins us live next. Stay with us. Welcome back. GM Canada says it previously announced a plan to cut a shift at its Oshawa assembly plant, but that won't take effect until early next year.
Yeah, spokesperson for the automakers says the Oshawa plant will continue operating on 3 shifts through January 2026, after which the plant will return to a 2-shift operation. The union representing workers had previously said the shift cut was expected this fall. General Motors originally announced the move in May on the heels of U.S. President Donald Trump imposing tariffs on Canadian-built vehicles.
Barrie's mayor has declared a state of emergency because of encampments pointing to growing safety concerns, damage to municipal property, and the ongoing toll of the opioid crisis.
Yeah, we're joined live by Barrie Mayor Alex Nuttall. Thanks for joining us here live on CP24. You know, we're down in the city of Toronto. We think, you know, this is a downtown Toronto type thing, but it's happening in Barrie as well. Can you paint a picture of what's going on in Barrie currently?
Yeah, we had an encampment that had been around for about a decade, and unfortunately this summer there was a double homicide that occurred along with all of the debris and all of the drugs and different things that you see in encampments. We also unfortunately ended up with having E. coli tests come back that were 5 times the closure limit. So if you get to a certain concentration, 200 parts per 100 milliliters, the water body is closed. In this case, we had upwards of 979 parts per 100 milliliters, and that's coming from human waste going right into the water. And obviously, we can't have our source water or any of our wellheads exposed to that type of activity. So we closed it down in accordance with the provincial order. The result is the homelessness has become a lot more visible. Certainly a lot more transparent to the amount of folks that are living homeless, and the effects have been pretty devastating to the streets of Barrie. You know, just on Wednesday, somebody was arrested inside of a tent with a couple of crossbows, drug money, and also a starter pistol. And these are not the types of things that we want on the streets of the city of Barrie. And so our direction is that we're going to move towards providing help to those who would like help and those who don't want help and want to live in a place of addiction. Barrie is not the place for that. And we need them to move on.
You say you want to reclaim your streets. What's the plan? How are you going to do that?
Well, we're working with all of our agencies, partners in the region. So we've got the County of Simcoe that's responsible for social services and housing. They're working with us right now to make sure that we have an appropriate amount of housing available for these folks and the support's ready. We're working with the transit service here, the police department, our bylaw department, to try to bring everything together, along with those who provide the mental health supports and all-round health support from RVH. We've received a considerable amount of funding into the County of Simcoe to get things like the new Heart Hub set up and shelters in place, but we've run out of time, unfortunately, and now is the time to bring back order to our streets and ensure that, again, those people that want the help, it'll be there through this emergency order, but those who don't want the help and would like to continue living in addiction and violence and all of those things that happen inside these encampments, this is not the place for them. We don't accept this behavior anymore.
So quickly, where are those people, the latter people, where are they going to go?
Well, I think that's up to them. Our goal is to make it very easy and comfortable to go in and get help and support, to get housing, to get addiction support, and very hard to stay in a tent and live in addiction. We want to enable individuals finding hope and opportunity, and we want to make it very difficult to just live in the drug chaos that has existed. So, we'll see what happens as we go through this process, but I know our friends at the county and the agencies delivering the services are going to work very hard to provide the supports individuals are looking for. Right now, over half of the folks that are living on the streets of Barrie are not from Barrie and they're not from Simcoe County. And so when you look at that and say, okay, well, they're coming here from somewhere, if family reunification makes sense, we want to help them get back to their family, get back to the supports that they know. But when it comes to if they're looking for help and they're looking for support here, we want to provide it.
Thank you so much for this, Mayor. Appreciate your time and all of your insight into what's happening in your city. This is Barrie's Mayor, Alex Natal. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
It's 5:54, 21 degrees. You're watching live at 5. We'll go to the Rogers Center. Blue Jays have a big return home against the Houston Astros. We'll go there and give you your preview. Welcome back. Oh, what? We're so excited to talk about the Blue Jays. Continue. You can go.
The Blue Jays, they are at home tonight and they face the Astros tonight as they sit just 2 games ahead of the Yankees atop the American League East.
Yeah, CP24's Melissa Duggan amongst the fans outside Rogers Center. Big preview.
Phil, Arda, fans here feeling that excitement that you're feeling as well right now. The only thing better than September baseball is October baseball. But these next few weeks, the Jays really need to rack up those wins if they are going to be seeing more action later on. So right now, the Jays, 2 games ahead of the Yankees in the AL East, starting a series tonight against the Houston Astros. Some competition there as well. And unfortunately, the Jays are going to be without one of their power hitters, Bo Bichette, now on the 10-day IL. You might remember over the weekend, he collided with the catcher during the game with the Yankees. He was out the next game, had an X-ray done. It came back negative, but now we're learning that he has got a left knee sprain. So he's going to be out for the next few days. The Jays recalling from AAA Joey Loperfido. We've got him in the lineup tonight. So what do the Jays have to do over these next few stretches of games to stay in the game? Well, we heard from manager John Schneider tonight. Here's what he's saying.
We got 19 games and everyone's important, so you have to do what we're good at. You got to pitch well, you got to play good D, and rely on the offensive profile of everyone that's kind of gotten you here. So it comes with the territory this time of year where things get a little bit magnified, whether it's standings, injuries, that kind of stuff. But this group is really good at going on to the next thing.
You can bet that Rogers Center is going to be booming with those cheers from fans tonight. The Dome is open. It is Looney Hot Dog Night. First pitch, Arda and Phil, 7:07. Back to you.
Thank you so much for this, Melissa. It's now 5:59, 21 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24.
Thanks for watching. CTV News at 6 is next.